Hello, 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 how are you? Sanbonani, Kunjani? Ça va, comme shita bo, ça va. Okay, for the French people, no problem. And anywhere in the world where you are most welcome to my show again. And I want to present more about computer and computer science, just to get to the basics of how computers work. I'm very excited today. You see, I have extra microphone. I'm still struggling with sound, and I hope that I'll fix this one nicely. I'm still struggling with my sound. I want to sound natural, so that's the problem. I want to sound really natural. I don't want to like kind of edit the voice. I don't like that. It's possible. It's possible I can edit the voice, but I don't want to edit the voice. I want the sound to be on the way it is, natural. Okay, because some of the classes that I'm doing, or some of these presentations, they can be used even in normal schools. Okay, in any schools, it's possible to use my presentation, because it's not all the schools that have the teachers ready to present some of the topics that I'm presenting here, especially in computer technology and computer science. In some schools, even the lower schools, they can pick up these topics, and will have students, when they are reaching university or college, they already have an idea how computers work. It's very important. I go down to the basics of computers. Okay, down to the basics. Let me just show you. I break down, I dismantle the computers to the concept, how the computers started. Because I did the research myself for a long time, about 15 years, to try to understand on the concept level. How do the computers remember? How do they do this? How do they get set and reset? You see, all those things. When you move the mouse, how does the mouse know that someone is moving me? Okay. It's something that is funny, but you see, this when you look at a diagram like this, okay, it doesn't make sense. It's nothing. Okay. If you can't understand how these things are interacting, these things they are natural, but they are interacting. Okay. So once power gets in, power gets from, let's say power gets from here. Wait, the power gets from here. Okay, going there. Once the power goes in, they interact. How do they interact? That's basically at concept level. So at very concept level, computers, they're like this. Logic gates. So it's about zooming in into the concepts of computer, the internal workings, the internal principles of computer, how they work. I keep on repeating this one. It's very important. I have all these markers. Okay. To explain, okay, as much as possible for someone to understand the basics of how a computer works on the motherboard, direct on the motherboard. So I just have to dive in. The topic that I have brought today, I will talk about logic gates. Latches, clock cycles, buffering or buffer, mouse and keyboard USBs. Okay, but this one I'll make another video. But for today, I will talk about these 4. So let's go straight to the logic gates. In another video, I'm talking about there is a video where I'm talking about bits and bytes. Okay, it's a very, very exciting video. You guys have to watch that one and to understand about bits and bytes, the difference, but not only the difference, but also the how they complement each other, how bits make bytes, how bytes complement bits, the combination and all that. Actually, it's the bits that make bytes. The bytes make kilobytes. Kilobytes make megabytes. Megabytes make gigabytes. Gigabytes make terabytes. Terabytes make petabytes. Okay. So when you're discussing logic gates are the building blocks of the computer technology. Computer was built using the concept of logic gates. Okay, this we must remember. We must keep on repeating all the time. Okay? This is very important to keep on all the time. So these logic gates, they look like this. The diagram how the logic gates should be constructed. Okay. So these logic gates, the number is not consistent. Some manufacturers use 5 logic gates. Others they use 6. Others they use 8. And others they go up to 12. Like here. These manufacturers had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 of them. 12 combinations of logic gates. So let's dive in the first logic gate. The first logic gate that is well known, the first logic gate. Let me first of all, before I go to the first logic gate, explain a little bit about the history of the logic gates. Okay, computers are difficult to understand because they were not developed by scientists or technology scientists or physicists. Computers were developed by philosophers. Okay, it's philosophy. The principles they use is philosophy in mathematics. The guy who developed the first principle for computer was a guy called George Ball. George Ball. You write George Ball. Name George Ball. Let's see. George Ball. George Ball, from which country? UK. UK. Was an English philosopher and mathematician. All right. Then, after he developed the logic gate, what he called truthness or truth table. Later on, another guy called Charles Babbage. Back in school, we used to say Charles Garbage, but it's not true. Charles Babbage. Charles Babbage from UK was also an English philosopher as well, an engineer. This one now was an engineer. Okay. So this guy was trying to develop an automatic calculator and a differentiation machine, okay, using the principles of George Ball. See, using the principles of George Ball. So, in using the principles of George Ball, Charles Babbage developed the first computer, trying to automate a calculator. He wanted to create a calculator that could be programmable and that could be set and reset, that could have some memory, that could make more calculations, that could make more calculations, not only calculating figures, but also calculating temperature, calculating many aspects of calculations. So this is what happened. So when you talk about the truth table that from George Ball, the truth table, George Ball was trying to discuss about statements. That's why we say computers came from philosophy and not from science, like physicists, like engineers. So George Ball was obsessed with statements, to say if someone is discussing statements, that statement is true. Okay? Two statements are true. Okay? It may be one statement is not true, or both of the statements are true. Okay? Or the truth can be achieved by combining two statements. You see? So he was saying that in other ways, you can also have multiple statements that may be false. And also sometimes you may achieve the truth by remaining silent, by not saying. Sometimes silence can mean the truth. Okay, can achieve some positive outcome. All right. So it's when he started now making out input, output, outcome. Okay, input, processing, outcome. So when a statement is made, people they process it, and then after they process it to see is true or false, true or false. So he went on to think of how to design something physically that can be generating the truth or a lie. Okay, and the combination of that, okay, either or a combination together to say statement A and statement B make the truth. Statement A and statement B make a lie. Statement A and statement B, okay, or statement A and statement B minus statement A, okay, can be the truth. So that one is what is called exclusive. So there are those combinations to say, okay, statement A alone is the truth alone. Statement A alone, if it is alone, if you put one statement is the truth. If you put two statements together, they form a lie. So it's like if you say many things, okay, you may end up creating a lie. If you say only one thing, you may end up saying the truth. Or if you combine 2, 3, 4 statements, they may end up becoming the truth. Or if you combine only one statement, you may end up making a lie. So on and so forth, combination statements. So George Ball, that was the UK philosopher, the one who developed what is called truth table. And then the truth table principles were later developed into what you call computer by Charles Babbage of the UK. Both of them were English physicists back in the years of 1700. That's when the first computer concepts, ideas, principles were developed. So let's go ahead. I gave another example that, okay, how the logic table works, you can say in a natural environment, okay? You will take, for example, that you are on a trip, okay? So we are on a trip, we're going to visit five friends. And within visiting the friends, you find that maybe one friend is not at home. Okay, what do? So you cancel them, you don't go to that friend, you go to another one, okay? So that one is subtraction. Or another person invites you, okay? Then you add on that one, okay? And it becomes what? The third one, or the fourth one, 60th one, okay? Then you adding on, or you are subtracting. That's exactly how the components on the motherboard, some of the components on the motherboard, work. Some of those. Others, they help others to work like that. Others, they help others to work like that. Others, they help others. Others, they complement together to work like that. But all of them, they're natural in the manner in which they work. So, to understand the computer, down to the component level, you have to use natural examples, and it's not easy to use natural examples. So first of all, you have to understand the concept and the principle on which the computer was developed. From there, you will be able to understand everything that it does, and becomes very easy for you to understand even the mathematics of computer. Because everyone will tell you that computer is about mathematics, but that mathematics is not deep enough. It's just the basic arithmetic of addition and subtraction, multiplication and division. Mostly addition and subtraction. That's how the motherboard works. So let's go back to logic gates. Logic gates. So sweeping through, the first logic gate is, I will start from here. So on the motherboard, like for example, okay, they can construct like this. You see, these are components. Okay, there is 12 volts here, and 0 volt. Okay, there is 12 volts this side here, 12 volts, and this side is 0 volts. Okay, so there. Okay, it's 2. There is input and input there. Okay, then here output. Okay, this is the first, the simplest. Okay, and it's called AND gate. This one, the AND gate. That's the construction of an AND gate. The first logic gate is AND gate. So how does AND gate work? AND gate says that it's a simple AND gate. 2 inputs in, okay, 1 out. All right, the one must be positive. So there is a signal, like if you connect power to the signal, to the component, that component is taking 2 signals, all right, but is releasing the positive signal that yes, there is power, okay, and it's transmitting the signal. So where there is no power, okay, it's transmitting a 0. Okay. So AND gate is actually so. So AND gate is actually just 2 statements. Okay, I went to the market and to the store. Okay, I went to the market and the store. The 2 statements together, they make the truth. Okay. Otherwise, if there is no statement, then there is no truth. Okay. Simple as that. If there is no signal, there is no output. So that's AND gate. From AND gate, the second one is called an OR gate. An OR gate. An OR gate is different from AND gate because it says 1 or 1 or, okay, not AND, but OR. Okay, if there are 2 inputs, okay, if there are 2 inputs, at least one of them, okay, will produce a positive, okay, or both. So one or both must produce an output. It means that that statement, the statement, either one statement or both of them together, they are the truth. They produce the truth. Then from there is what is called AND gate. Okay, there is NAND gate. NAND gate. There is NAND gate. NAND gate is just the opposite of AND gate. Okay, the opposite of AND gate, where they say if two inputs go in, if there are two statements, it means the output there is false, is a lie. You see, where you touch two things, okay, it means you are switching off. Okay, where you don't touch, you are switching it on. All right, the thing is working, is on. But if you touch it, if you touch two places, okay, then you are switching off the whole network. It's become zero. All right. Those are the concepts on which computer was built. Then the other one is called NOR gate. NOR gate, the opposite of OR gate. Okay, NOR gate. NOR gate, the opposite of OR gate. Let me show about the NOR gate. NOR gate should be here. NOR gate should be here. Okay? Yeah. NOR gate should be here. Alright? Where you have two inputs. You have two inputs there. Okay? And then these two inputs, it's either both inputs come in. Both inputs will produce positive here. So it's just the opposite of OR gate. Then from there is what we call NAND gate. Okay, NAND gate is the opposite of AND gate. I already said about that. Okay, so then there is XOR gate. XOR gate, exclusive OR gate. Okay, exclusive OR gate. This one is the extension of OR gate. The extension of OR gate. This one, XOR gate, this extension of OR gate, but it's not the same. All right, here you can see that there is no the extension of OR gate. Okay, so XOR gate, XOR is called exclusive OR gate. Exclusive OR gate. With exclusive OR gate is you will get a positive result. Okay. If one of the inputs, let's say maybe there are 4 inputs or 2 inputs. If one of inputs is 1, okay, and the other one they are 0, okay, you will get a opposite positive. You get a 1. Let's say, for example, you say one statement. You say 4 statements, but all the 4 statements, only one statement is true. The rest they are lies. Still, you will get it right. There you get it right. It will be positive, like you have won. All right, you are winning. All right, it's positive, but yet it's only one statement that is that is true. The rest of the statements are lies. But the result or the output is 1, is positive. Okay. So then from there is XNOR gate. It's just the opposite of OR gate. XOR gate means that the output, the result is 0. Okay, when one of the inputs is 1. Okay, which means that if one of the statements is true, but the other statements, they are lies, okay, there it means all what you have said is a lie. Okay, it means the output the result is 0x. It means you lie. Okay, if only one statement of the 4 statements that you have said, only one of them is a lie, it means all those statements are lies. You see, it's just the opposite, exclusive opposite of XOR gate, where one statement, if one statement is true, and the others are lies, you will still get a positive result. But in this case, if one statement is true, okay, the rest are lies. It means all the statements are lies. All the statements are lies. From there, then we get a not get. Okay? Not get. So, not get. Let me show you not get. So a not get, the output, the result is 0. When the input is 1. And the input, when the input is 1, the output is 0. Okay? This one is one statement. For example, if you say one statement, you say one statement only. One statement only. That statement is if it is a lie, there is a lie. Okay? If it is true, this side is true. That statement, if it is a lie, that side is a lie. That side is a lie. If it is true, that side is true. Then from there is another statement that's called, there is another, other mathematicians or philosophers, they continue with more logic gates. And more logic gates, they come up with more logic gates, okay, like this. NAND gate, NOx gate, GAND 8, okay, X and ORD, NOG, XORD, and OX, GANT, NOx, so DOR, Go, GANAX, something like that. There is also another one which is called buffer, okay, buffer or inventor. There is inventor and then there is buffer as well. Inventor is the opposite of, if the statement is a lie, okay, two statements, okay, they are lies. There it comes positive. Okay. If the statements are not true, they are true, there it comes negative. So that is called inventor, just the opposite of each other. So all this, they're just principles, that concepts that were developed to discuss about statements in the reasoning. Okay. So from there, other mathematicians were able to develop, for example, Bohr himself, he developed what is called Boolean algebra, Boolean mathematics, Boolean algebra. So Boolean algebra, so basically the original construction is like this, okay, false, false, true, true, false, 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 combination like that. So then he'll be able to use that construction, NAND gate, OR gate, okay, to produce, okay, to produce this. X equals A times B. X equals A plus B. X equals A times B, top bar. X equals A plus B, top bar. X equals A, you see, negative, invented. X equals A, invented with a bar. X equals A with a bar, with a car. So Boolean description, Boolean algebra, Boolean algebra. So the logic gates, they are combined. Sometimes they are combined, the logic gates. For example, this logic gate is saying two inputs in means positive output. So the output can be used as input for another logic gate to create more complex, okay, what they achieve to say an adder. So So you can have something that's called an adder. Okay, and all, and all. What is the answer? Okay, 0 1 1 1 1 0. Okay, and all, and all. Okay, so if you have input here, okay, you have input here, you have input here, you have input here, it's coming here, and then this input is coming to this OR gate, okay, and this one is coming straight to this OR gate. What would you have the answer here? Okay, this one is similar to the addition or the addition or subtraction of the binary digits. The addition and subtraction of binary digits, where you have 0011 0011 plus 0011 0011 equals 1100001111 carry out 1. You see, so that's the output plus a carry in and carry out. So basically, how the workings of the motherboard. So if you have the motherboard like this, like here, like I said, for example, we can have this. Okay, where's the power coming from? Okay, let's check. Power is coming from here, for example. Power is coming from here. It's coming from here. You see how many? It's on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 legs. Right, this power is being divided. It's going like inputs. It's going to this one. Okay, it's going to this one. Okay, this one is dividing that power into this. Okay, the other one is switching off the power. You can see this one is a resistor, and the resistor, this one is a capacitor. It means the power is coming to the capacitor and is breaking off. Okay, it's not going this. Okay, but there is a resistor here that is scaling down or shutting down the power here. So here it means this one has to process that power and sending back the signal. If it is right, it is right. Okay, then also you see like this, you can have maybe temperature sensor. Okay, like this is maybe a latch. Okay, then you see that in the end this motherboard, okay, through combinations through this type of combinations, these combinations is able to create some residue. Okay, that residue is create a bit. Is able to create a bit. Once it achieves a bit, okay, once it achieves a bit, is able to store. Is able to, when it achieves a bit, is able to now accumulate more bits randomly. Okay, accumulating more bits, and then it creates bytes. Those bytes, if one byte can store a character, maybe alphabet like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or a line, or what, it can store something that can be written on the screen. So basically that's all about the logic gates that I wanted to have taken a lot of time to explain about the logic gates. It's not easy to explain about logic gates. It's very, very, very difficult. But check another diagram. It's not only computers that use logic gates. There are so many devices that use logic gates. Those that work like computers, all of them, they use a lot of logic gates. So this one is a circuit that is called full adder. Full adder means that it's got the connections that are able to add the logic gates together like this. Okay. So they're able to produce output and input, output, input. 1100111010. It just means off, on, off, on, off, on, off, only on the motherboard. And that's all about the logic gates. There is a lot we can explain this, and we'll be making some videos as well explaining a lot about logic gates, because logic gates are not only used by computers, but they're used all the devices that work like computers that have to achieve a random memory through the creation of bits, and those bits they can accumulate and become bytes, and bytes they can store something. Okay, once the bytes they receive input like power or signal, okay, or electricity, that electric current now can store a value. So I explained about the values, the state of values. I explained about it in another video. So that one, this is another video. They can state a value and they can write something on the screen. They can, they can get they can detect, okay, maybe a device that's connected to the computer. They can run memories, so on and so forth. I'll explain the mathematics of I'll go more deeper in another video, where I will be demonstrating the calculations of decimal numbers. The decimal numbers, okay, 110011 plus 11000, okay, because every type of numbering system can be converted to another numbering system, okay. So basically, if the computers are able to add or subtract, okay, numbering systems like the binary numbering system 11000, it means that they can convert that numbering system to another numbering system, maybe hexadecimals, or they can convert it to octadecimals, okay. So by and by they are going. It means then accumulation of memory and the residues, and they are able to be programmable. The point here is to achieve programmability, so that this calculator should be able to be programmed. So when these gates, they are constructed like this, when they are connected like we have seen here, okay, when they are connected like this and make additions, they achieve something that's very, very important. It's called a latch. They achieve something called a latch. So a latch is a configuration of the logic gates where the input, the output, the positive output can influence, it can become an input of another circuit. Here you can have, like here we have, this is the circuit is coming from here. There we have input, okay? Inputs will be three inputs. They're coming here. When they're coming, these inputs here, okay, they are dismantling, they're getting broken, okay? But here, this one is another circuit, okay? It get input from here. It's coming to another circuit. So it's like input feeding another input. So on the middle there is a magnet. They put magnet. The magnet contradicts the input. When the input is on, okay, the magnet switches power off, okay. When the input is off, the magnet switches on, okay. And then if they put a capacitor on the middle, it means that the capacitor will be charged. When the capacitor is charged, it means that it will be able to transmit power when the power is off, okay. So when the power is on, the capacitor will be working to transmit power, okay. And then they'll have diodes, you see. So it works contradictory. Power is off, it means the power is on. On the output, there will be power. So when the power is off, on the output there is power. When the power is on the output the power is off, okay, it's charging. So you see, that one is called a latch. So the latch is latch achieves what is called residual memory, okay. It makes the computer to have a set. It can now get a setting where to start from, and then you can reset it, because when it starts working, Okay, when it starts, the latch when it starts working, it can't stop. It can't stop because when it receives signal power, it goes on. I mean, it goes off. Okay, so when it goes off, the power will get this side. There will be no power on the input. There will be no power. So because there will be no power, the latch will go down. When it goes down, it reconnects, and the power will get in again. Okay, when the power goes in again, okay, that side the power will go on. They will be off. So it goes like this, like this, like this. So it's when it starts working like this, it can't stop. So you have to stop it. So if there is something that is counting, it will be counting. So you have to stop it. That is called reset. Okay, that's the reset. So that process is so fast that it cannot be observable by humans, because now, because of technology and advancements, in the beginning, computers were so vast. They would use one computer would be a big building, because they had to construct these things using physical devices or components. For example, they would use magnets, big magnets, to create these latches and the circuits that are exactly like this. Okay, they would be using magnets. They would be using, big components to achieve this, so that they can create a memory that can keep values, and the values they can keep data, and they can calculate. You see, so that at the touch of buttons, this automation can happen. So it was very noisy, because it has to, you see, it has to do like that, because it had to work, but it was working so fast. So with the advancement of technology, they changed. Now, how did they change? They use very small devices that work, and those devices, they're natural like that. What they call semiconductors, and the transistors, and the resistors, and capacitors. You see, for example, on the board, this is the board, this is the circuit on the board. Okay, these are devices that are put there. Okay, but some of the devices, they are connected directly. You can see here there are lines. Okay, the lines. Okay, the motherboard itself is also a conductor. Okay, it's called ground. Ground is the sheet of the motherboard itself. The sheet itself, this sheet itself, is a conductor, but is negative conductor. So every device is connected directly to the board, okay, for the negative. And the other wire is connected, the other legs that are positive, they are connected to other devices, okay, but they don't touch the board, because the board is negative. That's why when you are measuring, like you are measuring any device, you have to put the negative cable, you put it direct on the board, like on the screw here. Okay, you put it on the screw like this, then you'll be able to measure any distance that you any component there, to see the power, how much power is getting in there. So that is very important. So that's exactly how the latches work, or that is exactly the description or the explanation of the latches. What are the latches? So the latches are a configuration of the logic gates. A configuration of the logic gates that is able to achieve consistency in terms of that is able to achieve consistency in the adding or subtracting of the signal. Okay, and that results in ability for a set and a reset. So that's where programmability comes in. So the next topic that I wanted to address today, the next one is called clock cycles. Clock cycles. Clock cycles is all these randomizations that happen. Okay, the computer no matter how random these things happen, the calculations, no matter how random they happen, okay, the processor for the motherboard, the processor itself has got a cycle. It calculates all these things, they go like a cycle. It starts again. Okay? No matter how random, no matter how many processes, maybe billions of processes that happen per second, but still it starts again. Okay? Everything starts and goes and continues, but still starts again. So that understanding of how a processor works is what is called clock cycle. Clock cycle. So clock cycle. Clock cycle is not made of one latch or one input. It's made of thousands, billions of the processes of the latches and of the logic gates, their workings. But back to where they start from, start again and again. It's not noticeable. It's very fast processes that you can't notice. We can't notice how they work. Okay. The last one that I wanted to talk about today is buffer. Okay, buffer. So buffer or buffering, this one helps in the reset because, for example, capacitors. I've already mentioned about this. Okay, where the capacitors achieve accumulation of power, okay, and be able to give out the power, okay, to the devices when the power is switched off by another device. That is called buffer. Okay, it means buffer is like the place, a storage where the power is temporarily stored. Okay, and that it can be what it can be transmitted. So when the power is off, this is the breaking is very important. That's how a computer works. Breaking and then restarting, breaking off and on, off and on. All the devices in the computer, when you're using it, it means they're breaking off and on, break on and off and on, but at very fast speed that you can't see. So all these processes, they are interlocked together. Clock cycles, buffering, latches, and logic gates, where they're combining the statements together to make the truth or a lie, the truth or the lie, the truth, and all that results in the creation of what we call bits. And those bits, they become bytes, and those bytes, they become megabytes, kilobytes, megabytes, then we create gigabytes, or so on and so forth. We're going all so on and so forth. Then we're having internet, we're having we're having all computers, we're having motherboard, we're having self-driven cars and all that. But the basis of everything is just the logic gates, 1 and 0. The basis of all that is just ones and zeros, so on and so forth, and the mathematics or the addition of that, those processes. Okay, so when you see 0 here, 0, it means off. It means this line is off. Okay, this is 1, it's coming here. Okay, but this is 1, this one, both of these, they are coming here. All right, so that's how computer works. So thank you so much for this video, for watching my video, and I'm so happy to present this video. But if you want modules, okay, if you want credible modules, these are credible modules from reputable universities over the world, including Harvard University. I have the modules for Harvard University, credible ones that can help you, where you can read on your bed or somewhere else alone, and statement by statement, sentence by sentence, because somewhere maybe I might have missed something else, but I know this topic, I know it very well. But if you want credible statements, modules where you can study very well about computers, the basic, dismantling the computer, the basic principles on how computer works right on the motherboard, you can comment on the link below and I can source them and I can give them to you. I have them already and I can share them to you So thank you so much. Subscribe to my channel if you just watched this video. Subscribe to my channel and let's be together. I will present more other videos about computers and more or less about school. I want to create a very, very acknowledged, a very, 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 very intelligent society. Thank you so much. The most intellectual society of Africa. Thank you so much for watching my video.